It's a little warmer. Yeah, just working off some really. This is a great place. I was downstairs. Oh, you were sure? Yeah, but thankfully, I think there were oh. Okay. I think we're unmuted. We're recording. Hillary, yes. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, guys, let's start. Lying down. Have your waist heavy. Have your squishy balls between your inner thighs. Oh, did everyone get enough air? Parents are praying. Hopefully, good. And just lie down. So feet a little closer than hip distance apart. Remember, you want to be able to touch your heels with your fingertips. Weights within arm's reach, so you can grab those as you work, and then palms just facing up to start. So then when you're lying here, let's think about our neutral. So your tailbone is a little bit heavy and tipped away from you. You've got your little space behind your low back, ribs are tight around your center. And then let's just start with inner thighs. So don't move anything in your body, you're staying neutral. Just feel your inner thighs kind of squeezing that ball gently. And then slow and controlled release. Do that again, squeeze in gently. And then slow and controlled. So remember when you're squeezing your inner thighs, squeeze from the very tops of those inner thighs. Feel your core connect. So upper inner thighs, core connects. And then slow little release. And then do that again. Uppermost inner thighs. It's not that your knees need to come right together. That will be outer thighs and outer glutes working into you. Coming too far, just inner thighs. Feel how that core connects. If you're really squeezing from the top of your inner thighs, two more like this. Release, and then go one more little squeeze in and then stay with your squeeze. Keep those inner thighs connected. All right, now from here, rock your pelvis back. So belly button towards your spine. Press into your heels and lift your hips up. So you're nice and high. Knees are reaching away from the top of your head. So your waist length along, ribs are tight around your center. And then slowly roll all the way down. Now to neutral. Take a breath when you're down there. And then do that again. Little squeeze with those inner thighs. Belly button towards your spine. Press through your heels. Lift those hips. Holding at the top. Feel like your glutes are squeezing together. Try not to do that. Your glutes are working to hold you up here, but don't squeeze them together. Roll all the way down. Back in neutral. Two more like that. Little squeeze. Belly button in. Press through those heels. Lift those hips. Remember, knees reach away from the top of your head. Feel that length down those waistlines all the way down. And then on this one, we'll stay at the top. Belly button in, inner thighs connect. Press through your heels and hold. All right, so stay when you're at the top there. Let's just squeeze inner thighs again. So little squeeze, little release. Remember, your glutes aren't squeezing together when your inner thighs squeeze. You should feel inner thighs and core working together for 4 and 3, 2, and 1 more. Hold that nice squeeze. From here, you're going to lower your hips and your ribs together. So hips and ribs come down, almost touch the mat, and then press straight up. Hips and ribs together, down, hinging at that hip. Press through your heels as you lift your butt. So go for 4 like that. Keep those ribs tight around your center. Resist the urge to let everything go when you press up. Keep those ribs tight for 2. So 1 more like that. Inhale there, exhale, press up. Holding at the top, and then just slowly roll all the way down. Come to neutral. Take a breath when you're down there. Waistline's along, ribs still tight around your center. You've got your little space behind your low back, right? Now from here, we're going to bring our hands behind our head. Don't change anything else in your body. Tuck your chin a little and then curl up to flexion. Now the upper abs or low abs are keeping that pelvis still, and then slowly come back. So remember, you're working all the way down. Your head touches, take a breath when you're down there, and then do that again. So tuck your chin out a little bit, curl forward. Nice breath there. No squeezing your glutes, keep them relaxed, and then slowly come back. So let's inhale as we come forward. So tuck your chin, inhale up, and then exhale, stretch back. Really lengthen as you come back, reach the top of your head away from your toes all the way, and then do that again. Inhale up. Stretching back. 2 more. Inhale. Curl, looking towards that ball. Stay relaxed. That little space behind your low back. Come right on down. Up. Guys, and then slow it. Control it all the way down. And take a breath. Okay, grab that ball. Up and underneath your right foot. Those hips nice and level. Okay. Left foot, you can keep it flat. If you want a little bit more of a core challenge, you can lift your heels so you're just light on your left toes. Whatever feels good for you. Remember, you want to try to keep your pelvis totally still and keep your weight even from right to left in your body. So your right foot is really light on top of the ball. Your left can be like, whatever you want to do. All right, so slowly let's roll the ball away. You don't need to straighten your leg the whole way, just pull it a bit and then pull it back in. So if you let your leg be heavy, you could just do this with your hip flexor. That would be think about our core moving our leg. Leg staying light makes your core work. And then pull back and keep that left hip nice and heavy for 3 more. Pull it out. And then go for 2. In. Come back in. And then stay there. So now let's bring our hands behind our head. Tuck your chin, curl up to flexion. Staying there. Okay, so if you feel like you can keep your weight even on those hips, keep your toes in. You can keep them in your arms, whatever. Okay, now from here, we're gonna reach this leg again. Just your right leg is gonna move, and then pull it right back in. So keep your ribs tight around your center. Leg reaches. Now you bring your upper body down at the same time, and then bring everything back up. Okay. So go super slow. You're gonna go for 6 more, reaching away. Top of your head reaches from those right toes. Foot stays light as you pull it. And 5, slow and controlled, head heavy in your hands. All the way. Go for 4 like that. You're working as you go back, right? You're still working as you come in. Working as you go back. Last 2. Good job, guys. 1 more. And reach all the way up. Stay when you're up there. Lower your left foot down. You can just drop the weight, but lower your right and then come all the way down. Good job, guys. Okay. Now pop the ball underneath your left foot. Find that even weight in both sides of your pelvis, even weight in your shoulders. You can let your left foot be a little bit light on top of that ball. And then if you want, let your right heel be lifted so you're light on your right toes as well. We'll start just reaching our leg. Way. And then pull back in. So as you're doing that, your ribs stay tight around your center. Jenny's here. Reach. And control back in. So keeping your left foot as light as you can makes those low abs work harder. But if you feel your back, let your foot be heavy, let your right foot drop down. That's totally fine. Be more like that. And you don't need to straighten your leg. That's not what it's about at all. And reaching. And in, or stay tight around your center. So 1 more like that. Reaching. Back in. Bring your hands behind your head. Up your chin in that little bit, curl up to flexion. Okay, so your left foot is going to stay light. Remember, if you want to do it on the other side, you can bring your right leg up. Keep your pelvis nice and even. Now just moving your left leg again out, and then bring it back. And feel those ribs nice and tight towards your hip bones. Lower back. You can let your shoulder blades just barely touch the mat. Look to the ceiling slightly. Curl in, feel your shoulder blades lifting off the mat. Got it. So inhale out. And exhale. You got it. 5 more like that. Slow and control. Slow and control. Remember, back is not a break. This is work. This is work. This is work. Still work. Still work. Still work. Up. You got it. Work. 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 Back. Up. 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 Last one. Lengthening out all the way in. Lower your right foot down. Let your left foot be heavy and low all the way. Good job, guys. Hug those knees in. Have a little roll around there. 1 way. And the other. Right. And then pop the ball back underneath your right foot. Make sure your feet are just a distance apart. Much wider. And then again, your heels you can touch with your fingertips. All right. So we're going to add weights here. If you don't want to do them, that's totally fine. You can keep your arms down. If not, let's go for it. So start with your arms reaching up. Shoulder blades are nice and flat against the mat. Collarbones are wide in the front of your body. And we're going to press into our left heel. Lift your hips up into one piece. So your hips, your ribs come up. You're back in that little hip So most of the work in your left glute here, right? Your right foot is staying light on top of that ball. You're trying to keep your hips level. Let's add arms. So you're going to open your arms wide and then press straight up to the ceiling. And then reach your arms overhead and then press back up to the ceiling. So arms wide and press up. And then arms overhead and press up. Got it. Let's do that again. Wide and press. Think about your left inner thigh staying squeezed toward your midline. All the way up. And then stay at the top there. So your heel, your left heel is still pressing through the mat. Your arms are reaching up. Collarbones are wide. Shoulder blades still flat against the mat. Now from here, reach your right leg away. And then pull your right leg back in. Right leg reaches, hips stay nice and high. And then pull back. And now add arms to that. Reach arms overhead as your leg reaches. And then pull back in. Keep those hips nice and lifted. Constant pressure through your left heel to keep those hips up. You've got 4 more like this. Reaching long. Left inner thigh still squeezes towards your midline. And 2, reach. And up. 1 more like this. Reach away. Come back in. Holding there, slowly roll all the way down. Come back to neutral. Lower those arms down by your side. All right, up all over to your left foot. Feet still just about that hip distance apart. Nice long waist slides. Reach your arms up, but press your shoulder blades down so your collarbones stay wide. Make sure you can touch your right heel with your right fingertips. If it's too far, it's just going to be too much pressure on that hamstring. And then just press through your right heel, lift straight up. So keep it here before we start moving. Think about your right inner thigh squeezing towards your midline. That's really important. You don't want your leg to fall out. All right, so we're here. From here, we're going to open our arms wide. Drop your hips low. And then press everything back up. And then arms overhead, hips low. And then press back up. So when your arms open wide, your ribs might want to open up. Don't let them. And then when your arms go overhead, your ribs probably want to lift. Don't let them. Keep those ribs tight around your center. Hips come down together. Press to that right heel to the left. Control. Press to that right heel. And 1 more each way. Reach wide. And press. Over here overhead. And press. Stay when you're up there. So keep that pressure through your right heel, right inner thigh, squeeze to your midline as you reach your left leg. And pull back in. Even weight on those shoulders. Arms can reach overhead if you want that add-on. And then pull back in. Feel how that right knee wants to fall out. Don't let it reach. Hips stay nice and lifted. You've got 5 more like this. Reaching, little pause. And 4. Reaching, little pause. And 3 more. Keep that pressure in your right heel. Don't let those hips drop. They want to, I know. Last 2. And in. And last 1. Let's reach. Come back in. Stay at the top. Roll all the way down. Come back to neutral. Lower those arms. Hug those knees. And again, have a little roll around. Oh no. Good job, guys. And then pop your ball to the side. You're going to straighten your legs out in front of you. So about hip distance apart. Maybe a little closer. Not too wide. Find your neutral. So now toes are reaching away from the top of your head. Let's add arms into the middle. Arms can reach up and then they'll go back overhead. As your ribs go overhead, as your arms go overhead, your ribs want to go overhead. Don't let them. Keep those ribs tight around your center. Just bring those arms back up. Go for a couple just arms. So arms reach up, your body stays flat on the mat. Seems simple enough, right? Notice what's happening with those ribs. So arms go overhead. Is the back of your rib cage still touching the mat? It should be, right? Press those arms back up. And then go one more like this. Arms overhead. Now, as your arms go back to the ceiling, we're going to tuck our chin and curl up into that whole roll up. So your toes Stack all the way up nice and tall, shoulders, ribs, hips all stacked up. And then slowly roll back. So rolling your pelvis back first, your ribs come back, your shoulders come back that bit. Reach those arms way back overhead. Let's do that again. Tucking your chin, curl. All low. Stack up tall. And you might have to belly button just by the next one if you want. Chin all the way. Okay, now bend your right leg in. Don't bend it too close. Bend it in. We're going to come up thinking about our weight staying even. Right to left in our body. Come on up there. Just use that half roll back here. So you're in that little bit of scoop. Your low abs are still working. Bring your arms up to the ceiling and then start rolling down from there. So let the weight of your body press down. You bring your leg up all the way. And then reach back. Do another one. Exact same thing, same side. Tuck your chin. Come on up. Put that little half roll there. Keep those hips back. Arms up. And then back. So feel your left toes reaching away as you roll. As you roll all the way, reach those arms back overhead. Now extend your right leg. Bend your left in. Remember, you can have your toes there. You can have your leg up if you want to as you come up. Even weight to both sides of your spine. As you curl up, the whole way, and then keep your head back that little bit. Arms come up, take a breath, and then roll back. Again, feeling the weight of your body pressing down. One vertebrae at a time. Arms overhead. Let's do that again. Same thing. Feel that even weight in your hips right now. All the way. Stay when you're there. Arms up. Keep your scoop. Keep your right toes reaching. All the way down. All the way. All the way. And now let's go both legs. So you can either have them bent, you can have them extended straight out, whatever feels good. Remember, don't put them in close. That makes sense. All right, tuck your chin. Really grab onto your leg. A little bit of help doesn't matter. Stay when you're up in that little roll back. Bring your arms up and then come down again. Rolling. And reach. You ready? Last one. We're going to come up and stay up this time. You can keep your legs back. You can lift them up as you come up, whatever feels good. Tuck your chin. That little teaser tuck if you want. Holding in that little bit of a scoop. Put your right leg down, left, and then stay. Okay. Now arms are going to come up. And then come down. And then we're going to go wide. And go up again. Abs keep them down and then go wide. And one more. And all the way up to seated nice and tall. Take a breath. Open your legs out a bit. You do the same thing here. So you're going to scoop back from there. Let those hip flexors go a bit. Keep that little bit of that low ab connection. Ribs tight like this. Shoulders are back that big. Now open your right arm out. Keep your left arm reaching forward. Your body stays nice and square to the way you're looking. And then go left. And let's go right again. Out. And then left. Out. And one more right. Keep that weight even on those hips. In. One more left. And in. Legs together. One more. Feet about hip distance apart. Hands behind your head now. Remember, it doesn't matter at all how far you scoot back. Pull that belly button to your spine that little bit and then stay. Okay, so you can keep your legs down if you want an extra challenge. You can keep your hips still. Bring your right leg up. You're going to rotate towards it. So little rotation. Ribs twist around your spine. And then come back through center. And then do that again. Exhale as you twist. Inhale, pull weight back. Feel your left rib dropping forward, right rib dropping back. And together. Two more. One more. And in. We'll do the same on the other side. We'll leave our abs on the inside. Scoop. There. Okay, even weight on your hips, pop that left knee up. And then rotate left rib drop back, right rib drop forward now. back to center. Again, across. And back over 4. Abs deepen as you twist. 3. Twist. Don't let that right hip move with you. Last 2. And back. Last 1. And back. Leg down. Come all the way back to seated. Okay, now come up to a 4-point kneel. So just flip on over. Hands over your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Keeping your waistline long, so feeling that your ribs are still tight around your center. You're not here, you're not here, you're just neutral. Even weight on your knees, even weight in those hands. Start with your right leg. We're gonna take it straight out on the mat. Keep it down there so your toes are still on the mat. We wanna kind of shift our weight to the left to counterbalance this here. Try not to, so keep that left knee pressing into the mat. Left inner thigh keeps squeezing towards your midline. Now from there, we're gonna lift our right leg up. So it's not about height, but you think length. Toes are reaching away from the top of your head. If anyone wants an extra stability challenge, bring your right hand across or onto your hip or something. So sorry, your left hand. Okay, now really reaching through your toes. You're just gonna tap. And then a little tap. And a little lift. So notice what else is happening in your body. Where else do you feel tension? Do you feel it in this right shoulder? If so, maybe bring your other arm down. Try to keep your right elbow a little bit soft. So we're not just dropping into that upper trap muscle there. If you're feeling your hips are shifting to the left, think of that left knee pressing down to keep you nice and steady. 2 more just like that. Very good, everybody. Go 1 more. Lifting up and then stay there. Now from here, see if you can keep the balance. Bring your right knee behind your left knee. And then turn your leg into lateral rotation as you kick out. We're gonna do 5 more like this. Slowly pull it in. Don't let anything change in your body. Slowly kick out. Go 4 like that. Your weight wants to shift left, especially as you bend. Don't let it. Go for 3. Slow and control. Slow and control. Last 2, top of your head is still reaching away from your tailbone. Reach. And last 1. Slow and control. Slow and control. And then bend that leg in, bring your arm down, sit back to a shell stretch. Those wrists a little shake. Okay. Here. Same side. You have your left elbow down. Your right hand is going to be flat. Left elbow down. So left elbow underneath your left shoulder. All right. And then we don't want to arch your back right. Keep your back nice and strong. Ribs stay tight around your center. Left inner thigh squeezes towards your midline as you keep your right leg out. Got it. Now extend that right leg way back behind you so it can go up on a little bit of an angle. You're looking down towards your left wrist, so not just straight underneath you. Keep that neck long. Now laterally rotate this right leg. You're gonna bend it into your right elbow, and then you're gonna kick it straight out, and then squeeze it up. Do that again. So you're gonna bend in, and then kick out. This time squeeze up twice. You're gonna squeeze up once, and down. Squeeze up twice, and down. Then bend it in again. In. And kick. This time you're going to squeeze up 3 times. So squeeze up 1 and down. Squeeze up 2 without letting your hips move. Squeeze up 3 and then bend it again. You ready? Keep those waistlines long, straight out. Let's go for 4. Straight up 4 and control. Straight up 3, control. Straight up 2. Pressing into your left knee as you lift your right. Last 1. Bend that leg in. Ready? Kick out. Last set. 5. Straight out 5, press through your left knee as you lift your right. Squeeze up 4 and down. Squeeze up 3, abs deepen each time you squeeze. Squeeze up 2 and squeeze up 1 and then bend that leg right in. 6 So back to that shell stretch again. Ready, everybody? Come back to your wrists with your hands. Knees under your shoulders, knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. That's where we're going. Waistline long, ribs stay tight around your center, still neutral. Okay, so don't move anything in your body except your left leg. You're going to kick it straight out, and then you're going to lift it. Just about hip height. Press that right knee into the mat, to the right inner thigh, squeezing towards your midline. If you want to bring that right hand across, so you're just on that left elbow and right knee, and then from there, just tap and lift. So you're reaching as you lower, you're still reaching as you lift. Reaching your left toes away from the top of your head, right? Nice long spine. Core is keeping your back nice and strong. Your back doesn't arch each time you lift that leg. Go for 3. Go for 2. And lift. One more. Let's lift up. Stay there. Okay, so now you can keep your hand. If you want, medially rotate that left leg. It's going to come behind your right slightly, and then it's going to laterally rotate as you kick it out. Got it. So medial rotation in, you got it. Laterally rotate as you kick out. So your weight totally wants to shift to the right. Don't let it. Keep your right knee directly under your right hip if possible. And reach. Go 4 more like that. In. 3 more. Feel how that's not just a glute exercise, right? Tons of obliques working as well. Shoulder stability on that left side. Last 2. Last 1. And bend that leg in and down. Sit back to a shell stretch. Give those wrists a good little twist. Okay, now we'll come up to the forearm. So start with your hands under your shoulders again, knees under your hips, neutral, ribs tight around your center. Bring your right hand down, or right elbow down, sorry. So most of your weight is on your right elbow. Kick your left leg out. Lift it up. So remember, it's going to go a little higher than hip height because you're on this angle. You're looking in towards your right wrist, not straight down, so that neck is long. And then from there, press your right knee into the mat a little bit. Feel those right obliques engage as you bring your left knee towards your left elbow. And then kick straight back out. Lift it up once when you kick out there. Do that again. So in with control, nice and slow. Waistline stay long. Kick it straight back out. Now squeeze up twice. 1. And then 2. And then again, slow and controlled. Reach back out. You ready? Let's go 3. Squeeze and down. Feel that left outer glute. 2. And 1 more. Squeeze it up. And back. You're ready? Let's go for, was that 3? Yeah, let's go 4 here. Squeeze, control. 3, 2. Last 1. Bend in. Ready? Let's go out. We're going to go for 5. Squeeze up 5. Squeeze up 4. Squeeze up 3. 2. Last 1. Squeeze up. And then bend that leg all the way in. And sit back for a shell stretch. All right, give those wrists a little shake. And then come on to lie on your left side. The legs straight out underneath you. Have a weight handy. We're going to use a weight for a bit of this. So toes reaching away from the top of your head. Your waistlines are nice and long. Left ribs are lifting that bit. Both knees are pointing the same way you're looking. So don't let your left knee point down. In particular wants to point down. And then from there, let's just lift our right leg up. So lift to about hip height. Hold when you're there, and then squeeze your left leg up to meet it. All right, so both toes are reaching away from the top of your head. All toes are reaching away from the top of your head. Your left ribs are still lifting. From there, if you want, you can bring your right hand onto your hip or just have a light touch with your a couple of fingers, and then lower your legs just to a hover, and then lift back. So you'll lower both legs to a hover, and then you'll lift both legs up that bit. So think of your legs moving as one piece completely for the way down. Keep them moving as one piece as you lift up, lower, and squeeze, lower, and squeeze. Good, guys. Go 3 more like this. If you have your right hand in front of you, just try not to put all your weight into it. Last 2. And now you're ready. 1 more. Let's go up and then stay up. Now scissor your legs. So just going to come a few inches apart and then scissor them back the other way. So keep them lifting as you're scissoring. Keep both kneecaps pointing forward. Remember that left one wants to point down. You won't feel your inner thigh the same way if you do that. Switch. And back. Lift those legs a little higher. Don't let them drop. They want to. 3 more each way. Scissor and back. Go for 2. Scissor and back. Go for 1 more. Scissor, back, and then stay with your bottom leg forward. Lift up 1 inch. Bottom leg is forward, top leg back, and then down 1 inch. 1 little inch up. 1 inch down. You got it. 6 like that. Little lift and down. 5 little lift and down. 4 more and down. 3 more. Up and down. Last 2. Up and down. Last 1. Squeeze up. Legs together and then lower all the way down. Okay. Now bend your knees. Have your heels underneath your bum. Left rib stay lifted that bit. Long waistline still. Now let's lift our right knee up. So hips stay still, just that regular clamshell up to the top there. Give that extra squeeze back so you really feel that outer glute on that right thigh, and then slow, just lower to a hover, and then you'll squeeze back up. Slow and controlled to a hover, and lift back up. Inhale down. So each time you lift, get to that high point. Little pause, and then keep your glute working as you lower. Don't let it just turn off. It's working all the way up. Try to keep it working to a hover. Go for 4 more like that. Go for 3. Up. Feel those abs deepening to keep you nice and steady. Last 2. Last 1, lift up to the top. Now stay when you're up there. You're going to extend your leg out from there. So take it straight out and then bend it back in and then lower back down. Just to a hover. Don't let it rest. Get back up. Kick out, bend in and down. Do that again. Up, extend, in and down. So that extending is just a hold for that right glute, right? Makes it work out a little bit harder. Go 4 more. Up, reach, in, and down. 3 more. Up, reach, in, and down. 2 more. Up, reach, in, and down. Last 1. Up, reach, in, and down. Take a breath. Get that guy a little out there. And then from here, keep your left leg bent, but straighten your right leg out. So here's where we can add an arm. You don't have to if you don't want to, or you can add a weight, or just an arm actually too. If you want to, though, reach that arm up to the ceiling. So your right arm is reaching up, your right toes are reaching away from the top of your head. Now add this arm, so now fingertips reach from toes. Your body wants to kind of arc as you do that. Don't let it. Keep your waistlines long. Right fingertips reaching from right toes, and and then bring both up to the ceiling. So your leg lifts that bit, your arm reaches. You only want to lift your legs so high that you can keep your waistlines both long and lifted off the mat. So it's not super high for your leg. Your arm can come up to 90 degrees from your body though. Up and really feel that leg as you reach. Go for 4 more. Up and control. Go for 3. Reach and control. Last 2. And then go 1 more. Let's go up and then stay there. From here, bend your knee into a 90-degree angle. So it's not on top of your left, it's 90 degrees. So your knee is higher. Yeah. Now from here, lower your arm down. So your arm comes down and then lift your arm back up. Keep your legs still, just your arm. Lower that arm and lift. Keep that heel lifted. You got it. Lower. And hold it. You got it. For 4, don't let your knee drop. Don't let your foot drop either. 3, lower, that forward glute knee reach. Last 2, control, keep those shoulders stacked. That's what you need to do when your glute is in so much pain. Last 1, let's lift up, stay there, kick that leg all the way out, take a nice big breath, and then bend it in, drop it down on top of your left. Good job, guys. Come on to your back, give your right glute a little stretch out. Hug your left knee and turn that right heel back in. And we'll flip around. We're going to do the same on the other side. So keep that weight handy. You want to add that weight in. We'll start with straight legs. Toes reaching away from the top of your head. Your right ribs are going to stay that little bit lifted on this side, right? Your ribs are staying tight around your center. Pelvis is nice and neutral. Knees are both pointing forward. Remember, your right knee is going to want to point down. Keep it pointing forward. And then just lift your left leg up to about hip height. Squeeze your right one up to meet it. Stay there. Just think about what's happening with your left arm. Are you really stabilizing through there? Could you bring it onto your hip? You want to just have one finger down, whatever feels good without just dropping all your weight into it. Now from there, just lower your legs to that little hover and then squeeze back up. So that's an inhale down. Exhale, feel those abs deepening as you lift. Hey, Carrie, will you bring your head down so you're not, bring your head. And slow. So keep the top of your head reaching from your toes. You don't want your head here. You don't want your head here. You want to stay in that nice long spine. You're kind of lengthening it as you lift, and you're still lengthening as you lower. Always lengthening, right? Reaching toes away from the top of your head. 2 more like this. Control, and then go 1 more, squeeze up and stay. Now scissor your legs, 1 forward, 1 back, just slightly. Try to keep both knees pointing forward, and then switch. And again, scissor, and scissor. Doesn't need to be big, big control, and scissor. Good. Scissor, and back for 4. And switch. Go for 3. Switch. Good. Last 2. Last 1, scissor and back, and then finish with your bottom leg forward slightly. Stay, go up 2 inches, and then down 2 inches. Up 2 inches, pause, down 2 inches, pause. Up 2 inches, pause, down 2 inches, pause. Go 5, and control. Go for 4, squeeze up, and control. Your right ribs are not pressing down each time you lift your legs, right? 3, and down, go for 2. more squeeze up. And then legs together, lower all the way down. Good, okay, now bring your heels underneath your bum. Waistline still nice and long, top of your head still reaching from your tailbone, right rib still lifting off the mat, still neutral. Clamshell up, so get that high squeeze in your left glute, and then slow lower to a hover. Up with that little squeeze, and then lower to your hover. So each time you lift up, get to that high point. And then try to keep your glute working as you lower down. Don't let it just drop down with gravity. Up and control. Good. Go for more. Feel how as you lift, when you get high, your core has to work a little bit harder, right? To keep you from moving back, and your glute has to work harder too. Last two. Down, and then go one more, squeeze up and stay. Now extend your leg out from there, bend it back in, and then lower down. So the key for this is keeping your thigh totally still. Just extend your leg. It doesn't even need to go straight. Just reach in and down. Keep those hips nice and level. Extend in and down. 5 more. As you lift, your glute is working. As you extend out, that's a hold for that glute. In and down. Reach. In and down. 3 more. Up. Reach. In. Last 2. Up. Reach. In. And down. Last 1. Up. Reach. In. And then lower all the way. All right. Now grab your weight in your hand. That on the other side if you want to. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Feel your hand is right above your shoulders. Your right ribs are still lifting off the mat a little bit. Waistlines are still nice and long. Send your left leg underneath you. So now left toes are reaching away from the top of your head. You can keep your right leg bent. You can straighten it out. It's going to be harder for legs straight actually. And then reach your arm overhead. So fingertips reach from toes here. You got it. And then come back. So your leg will lift only as high as you can keep your right ribs lifting. It's not about bringing them together, but finding that stability, finding that kind of zone where you can like challenge that left glute. You can also keep your obliques even on both sides. Lift and control. Really reach. So fingertips reach from toes. Find that length in those waistlines. And find that length and lift. You've got it. 3 more like this. Good. Go for 2. Let's go up. Lower that leg to about hip height. Now bend it into a 90-degree angle. So remember, not on top of your upright one. 90 degrees. Now lower your left arm down so it's at about hip height. And then bring it back up. So now you're holding your left leg in that 90-degree angle. Hips stay stacked. Lower those arms. Once you've got that leg kind of locked in position, focus on those shoulders. Think about that stability. As your arm comes forward, it wants to pull you forward. Don't let it keep your shoulders totally stacked. Your legs wanting to drop down. Can you lift it a little higher? Go for 3. I think I can. And up. Go for 2. Feel how your core is working. Keeping those ribs totally stacked. Last 2. Did I say 2? Lower. Back up. Kick that leg right out underneath you. Bend it in. Lower your arm. Take a breath. Good job, guys. Okay, go onto your back. Give your left foot a little stretch out there. Left foot in front of the right knee, and behind that right. Nice couple. them out. Okay, and then drop your legs down when you're ready. Running out of time for rotation, so we're gonna make sure we do this today. So have your feet about hip distance apart again. Not in too tight, just a comfortable distance in front of you there. Neutral, even weight through both sides of your body. We're gonna do a little rotation with our upper body. When we rotate our upper body, our primary like the primary movers are your obliques, moving your upper body, but it should also be a ton of low abs, keeping your pelvis still. It's really easy to let your pelvis move. You don't want to let it, all right? So just put that in as we do this. So hands behind your head, just let your head be heavy in those hands. Up your chin, curl up to flexion, and then stay there. So our pelvis is neutral, it's evenly weighted right now, right? We want to stay like that. We're going to rotate our upper body over to the left. So your right shoulder blade just barely comes off the mat. Think about your right ribs getting closer to your left hip as you come up there. And then come back through center, have a little break. And do the same thing over to the left. Left ribs towards your right hip. Pause. And then come back, have a little left. Let's do that again. Right ribs towards the top of your left hip. Pelvis could very easily be moving side to side. We're not going to let it. Left ribs towards the top of your right hip, left shoulder blade barely off the mat. Back. So one more each way here. And then come back. And do one more. Left ribs to the top of your right hip. Come back to center. And then lower all the way down. Okay, so now we got basics. Let's add a little bit more to these. So start with your heels lifted, so you're just on your toes. Still neutral, still evenly weighted, right? Now from here, tuck your chin, curl up to flexion, and stay. Now bring your left leg up. If at any point you feel your back, bring your right foot down, that's totally fine. If you're not trying to keep your or stay here. From there, we're going to rotate across just to the left. So right ribs towards your left hip, right shoulder blade off the mat, and then come back to center. And then do that again. Exhale across. And back through center. Really focus on your right shoulder blade coming off the mat and your right hip staying heavy. And again, across. Now try to stay working as you come back to center. Don't just flop down. Stay a little lifted. Reach. And back. Two more like this. Back. Last one. Across. Come back through center. Stay. Lower your left. Lower all the way. And we'll do the same on the others. So tuck that chin in again. Curl up. Let's start with our heels lifted, still neutral, right leg up. Okay, so you can keep your left heel down if you start to feel your back. You can do this if you want. We're going to rotate across. Right. And then back through center. So left shoulder blade off the mat. Left hip stays heavy. And back through center. Rotate, have that little pause, control as you come back. Pause, stay working as you come back. You've got to go one more. Over 3. Last 2. Back. Last one. Up. Come back to center. Lower your right. Lower those heels. Take a breath. Guys, okay, hug your right knee into your chest. Reach that left leg nice and long underneath you. All right, so toes, left toes, reaching away from the top of your head for a little stretch. We're still thinking about that length in our body. And then bring your left leg over to the left side of your body. Wait a sec, bring your right leg over to the left side of your body. And put your right hand away from your right knee. There. Keep reaching for your right fingertips. Keep reaching your right knee the opposite way. And then bring that right leg back in, kick it straight out, hug your left hand nice and tight, right toes are reaching away. And then pop that left knee over to the right side of your body, reach out with your left fingertips. Guys, and then bring that left knee in, your right knee in. One way. And then just all the way onto your tummy. Do a little extension for last little bit here. So hands are going to be as wide as the mat, maybe wider than that is fine. Just a comfortable kind of distance, so you're not feeling all cramped in. And then your legs are as wide as the mat as well. Let's make sure that our legs are a little bit open. And then have your nose just hovering off the mat. So you're just looking straight down. So remember, when we're doing our extension, it's not about coming up as high as you can. We're using your arms. We're trying to get some movement to our upper spine here. So it's not a very big movement at all. So we'll start just looking down, feel your core connect. Think about your shoulder blades sliding down your back slightly. And then lead with your nose. So just imagine your nose kind of pushing forward slightly as you extend up through that upper spine. So as you're coming up through that upper spine, you're really not moving far. You're thinking more about reaching the top of your head away from your toes as you lift gently. So you'll feel, hopefully you're not putting all your weight into your hands because that's your arms doing the work instead of your upper back. Hold when you're here, so take a breath. And then as you come down, keep the top of your head reaching from your toes. So keep reaching. All the way, you'll come to a little hover. Take a breath. Relax completely. And then do that again. So core connects. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Leading with your nose, reach the top of your head and your collarbones forward this time. Keep those collarbones reaching forward without just dropping into your low back. Hold when you're there. Take a nice breath. And then again, just slowly away. Right there, relax, and then do that again. Core connects, shoulders down, leading with your nose, reach the top of your head and those collarbones gently forward. Take a nice big breath. And from here, you lift your elbows, so you're just on your fingertips. Right? Stay reaching for the top of your head. Lift your hands. It's okay if you want to keep your hands down too. Stay here. Now from here, can you lift your right foot a little bit? Can you lift your left foot a little bit? Stay there. Now from here, can you reach your arms just a bit? And then bring them back in slightly. Arms reach, keep the top of your head reaching away from those toes. Legs are not high, they're just barely hovering. Two more. Make sure you're still looking down, not in front of you. And then one more, reach. Pull back in, lower your right foot, lower your left, lower your right hand, left hand, and then lower your upper body elbow. And then just press back to a shell stretch. Shell, guys. That weight right back to your heels, feel your fingertips reaching away from your tail. Walk those hands over to the right side of your mat, really reaching out through your left fingertips there. Keep that left sitting bone really nice and heavy. That nice stretch down that whole left side body. And then walk those hands all the way to the left side of your mat, really reaching into your right fingertips. to a 4-point kneel there. So hands back under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Kick your right leg out, so really reach through your right heel. Kick your left out as well. Heels reach away from the top of your head. And then tuck your chin, thinking rounding through your upper spine, middle spine all the way until that tailbone drops down with that lumbar up towards the ceiling. Hold there, take a big breath. Walk those feet out. Right heel presses down, left leg bends. And then switch. Then drop both heels nice and low. Tail looks a little higher as you do that. Then again, drop them low. And back into that plank. So all the way back. Heels reaching away from the top of your head there. And then step your right leg in so your right foot can be flat. You can drop your left knee if you want. You can stay up there just for a little stretch. Good. Not bad. Step your left hand down here. And then go into a little twist. So reach right fingertips up. Leg lifted. And then step your right hand down. And then drop your right leg out to the side for a little hip stretch. Come down as far as that feels good there. Curl those left toes under, hands back under your shoulders. Step your right foot back so you're back in that plank. Step your left foot in. Take that little flexor. Knee down, knee up doesn't matter. Step your right hand in. Or face the left arm. And then step your left, or drop your left knee down. Nice. And then just walk your hands back under your shoulders. Curl your right toes under, step your left foot back. Press back to the downward dog again. Walk your heels into your feet. Bend that forward. Shaking out and just roll on up. It's working. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Hillary.